Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nice to meet you, listener. So today we from Group 6 will give a presentation about stroke, type of stroke, and other things. But before that, I will introduce the group member to you. Next slide. So this is the group member of Group 6 that have Areta Hairunisa, Enrico Octavianus, Firmansyah, Tiara, and Widyadana. Next. Okay, for the table of content of this PowerPoint is first is definition, second is pathophysiology, the third one is sign and symptom, and the fourth is treatment like medical, physiotherapy, occupation therapy, orthotis prosthesis, and speech therapy. For the next presenter is Areta. To Areta, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Firman. Definition: a stroke occurs when the blood supply to the brain is interrupted or reduced, causing brain tissue to not receive the oxygen and nutrition it needs. There are two main types of stroke caused by different mechanisms. One, ischemic stroke, occurs when a blood vessel supplying blood to the brain becomes blocked, usually by a blood clot. The most common type of stroke and can be caused by 1. Atherosclerosis, narrowing or hardening of the blood vessel due to plaque build-up, fat cholesterol, and other substances. Second, embolism, blood clots, or other particles that form in other parts of the body, such as the heart, that then travel to brain and cause blocked hemorrhagic stroke. Occurs when a blood vessel in the brain burst, causing bleeding in or around the brain. This can be caused by hypertension. Uncontrolled high blood pressure can weaken the walls of blood vessels, making them prone to rupture. Aneurysm, swelling or widening of the walls of blood vessels that can rupture. Arteriovenous malformation (AVM), a congenital condition in which there are abnormal blood vessels in the brain that can rupture. The next presentation is Enrico. Enrico, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Tiara. Next slide. Okay, so I will explain about pathophysiology. So, as explained by Tiara before, the stroke can be typed into two types. The first type is ischemic stroke. So, for the pathophysiology of ischemic stroke, the first one is atherosclerosis. So, atherosclerosis is involves the build-up of fatty deposits or atheroma in the blood vessel, so it's leading to narrowing and hardening of the arteries. The second one is embolism. So the embolism is the blood clot or foreign material like fat, air, or lipid that forms somewhere else in the body and travels to the brain. And for the third is thrombosis. Thrombosis is the formation of a blood clot directly in the brain's blood vessel. This can occur due to atherosclerosis or other condition that increase clotting tendencies. And the next one is penumbra and core. In ischemic stroke, the area affected by the blockage has a core region where the brain cells are irreversible damaged due to lack of oxygen and nutrients. So, surrounding this core is the penumbra, where cells are at risk but can potentially be salvaged with timely intervention. For the last, in ischemic stroke, is inflammatory response. So the initial injury triggers an inflammatory response that can causes a damage, and also this include the release of inflammatory cytokinesis and other condition. Okay, for the next is pathophysiology for hemorrhagic stroke. The first one is hypertension. The hypertension is the chronic high blood pressure is a major risk factor for hemorrhagic stroke. So it can lead to the rupture of small blood vessels in the brain. So it can causing intracerebral hemorrhage. And the second one is aneurysm. Aneurysm is abnormal bulging in the wall of the blood vessel, can rupture, leading to subarachnoid hemorrhage, where blood leaks into the space between the brain and the surrounding membranes. For the last one is secondary injury. So the presence of blood in the brain can cause additional damage through mechanism like increased intracranial pressure, direct toxic effect of blood components on the brain tissue, and other condition. So next slide will be presented by Areta. So Areta, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Enrico. This is a sign. Number one, hemiparesis. Hemiparesis, the muscle weakness of partial paralysis on one the side of the body that can affect the arm, legs, and facial muscle. Number two, hypertonicity. This may occur due to birth injury, moving into the birth canal condition that affect the way nerve communicate with muscle. And number three, odema. Odema, a fluid that do not run smoothly. Okay, next slide. This is a symptom. Number one is trouble speaking and understanding what others are saying. Number two, numbness, weakness or paralysis in the face, arm or legs. Number three, problems seeing in one or both eyes. Number four, this trouble walking. Okay, the next slide is Firman. Firman, time issues.
Okay, thank you to Areta. Can you next slide, please? Okay, so in this slide is we gonna talk about the medical treatment for ischemic stroke. So for the medical treatment is the clot busting drug or TPA. This clot busting drug can dissolve blood clot and is the most effective when administered within 3 hours of symptom onset. And the second one is mechanical thrombectomy. So mechanical thrombectomy is a procedure to physically remove the clot using a catheter. And the third one is antiplatelet drugs. So the antiplatelet drugs is a medication like heparin to help prevent new clot from forming. And the last one is the statins. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, for the medical treatment for hemorrhagic stroke is surgical intervention. So for surgical intervention, the procedure is a procedure to repair medical treatment for stroke patient depend on the type of stroke, like is ischemic or hemorrhagic, and the timing of the treatment. Here are some common medical. Okay, can you next? So this slide is treatment stroke by prosthesis and orthosis. First one is you can use ankle foot orthosis or AFO. The purpose of use AVO is one of the most commonly prescribed orthosis for stroke patient is an AVO. This device support the foot and ankle and prevent foot drop atau difficult lifting the front part of the foot, which common after a stroke. And the second one is knee ankle foot orthosis or KAFO. So the purpose you wear KAFO is for individual with more severe weakness or paralysis in the leg. A KAFO may be prescribed to support both the knee and ankle, providing more extensive stabilization. And the third one is upper limb orthosis. So for the purpose of upper limb orthosis is orthosis for the upper limb such as hand splint, wrist support, and elbow brace can help with spastic muscle weakness and contracture caused by the stroke. And the last one is functional electrical stimulation or FES. The purpose of FES is device may be used to stimulate weakness muscle in the arm or leg, promoting more natural movement and muscle re-education. Okay, for the next slide is be presented by Widya. To Widya, let me share.
Thank you, Firman. And this slide from treatment from occupation therapy. And the first one is improve daily activities. Occupation therapy helps individuals regain the skill needed for daily tasks, such as getting, eating, or bathing. And the second is providing education and support. Occupation therapy indicates patients strategies to manage daily tasks and provide support. And the third is enhancing independence. By relearning everyday activities, individuals can maintain their independence and participate in meaningful roles and tasks. Next. And next slide is treatment from speech therapy. The first is exercise and therapeutic activities. And in the exercise, speech therapy use oral motor exercise to improve communication and swallowing skills to coordinate movement of the mouth, tongue, and face. And the second is electrical stimulation. In these therapeutic activities, using electrodes on the skin to stimulate muscle associated with speech and swallowing, such as muscle associated with swallowing. And the next slide will be presented by Firman.
Okay, thank you to Widya. I will continue this slide. So this slide is gonna discuss about the treatment stroke by physiotherapy. So for the physiotherapy is the first one, gait training. So for the purpose of gait training is stroke often impact a person's ability to walk, leading to issues such as weakness, foot drop, or imbalance. Gait training help improve their walking ability. And the second one is a balance and coordination training. For the balance and coordination training, the purpose is the balance often affect after the stroke, increasing the risk of fail. Physiotherapy focus on improving balance and postural control. And the third one is strength training. For the purpose of this is the weakness in muscle, especially in limb, is a common after stroke. Physiotherapy strengthens the muscles to help restore a function. Okay, I think next slide. So this is the reference that we use to make this PowerPoint for this presentation. Next. Okay, I think that's all from our group 6. Thank you for your attention. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.